switch over.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Well, shoot, this is that time, man. So welcome. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully you are absolutely phenomenal today. I want to welcome you to the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy show. This is your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator. And we got Mr. Beatles in the building.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mr. Beatles, Mr. Wealthy, Healthy, Happy, your small business developer and financial planner. I am in the building. We are in the building with you today.
Fantastic, man. And so we are still going through The Alchemist and final 2 days of talking about this book, a book that if you've read it and you've studied it and you've gone through it, it's probably changed your life, probably changed the way that you look at your own journey as we are talking about the journey of Santiago. And it's very interesting, all of the different characters that are in the story that you might have seen or found pieces of in your life on your way to your treasure, on your way to your master work, on your way to finding or completing your journey. And so Santiago is just like you and me. He has a dream. And if you're here today, if you are connected to us, then I would imagine that you have a dream that hopefully you are going towards and you're not shunning, because you can have a dream and actually just let it be a dream, like we found with the crystal merchant. He had a dream, but he only wanted it to be a dream. Well, Santiago is a guy who has a dream, who's actually pursuing his dream. So first ask yourself, with this dream that I have, is it just a dream that I want to remain a dream, or is it a dream that I'm pursuing? Is your dream a dream that you only want to remain a dream? In other words, you just want to imagine it. You want to have it be your fantasy for life, or is it a dream that you're actually pursuing? Is it a dream you're actually pursuing? And so today's title is Don't Give Into Your Fears, because when you give into your fears, you can no longer hear your heart. And if you can't hear your heart, then it's going to be hard for you to continue to pursue your dream. Mr. Beatles?
Exactly, man.
Look, that's when the enemy takes over. Right then and there. And we see that when Santiago and the Alchemist, they're traveling, and all of a sudden Santiago feels a little weird. And he's like, man, something's not right. And he looks to the alchemist to see if the alchemist is, feeling some kind of way. And he's not. The alchemist is cool, calm, collected. He is on his mission. He is on his path. He knows exactly where it is that he's going. All of a sudden, you get the tribesmen. He sees 2 of them. Then he sees like 5 of them. Then he sees like every tribesman in Egypt is now surrounding him, and he is completely scared out of his mind. And he asked the alchemist, he said, man, are you not scared? And he's like, no, what is there to be scared of? And so I ask you the question, as you are traveling in your desert right now, as you are moving along the way, has there been a time when you allow fear to set in, and that fear caused you not to move into your personal legend? That fear actually caused you to lose what you had because you thought that this is it. We're done.
The biggest thing that I think that fear, because as I was thinking about this, one, fear is typically just within, right? So, when we think about this devil or the enemy, it's typically just all within our own mind. But also I found that fear is paralyzing, right? So the biggest thing that fear does is it stops your momentum. You've been tracking along each and every day. You've been making some progress. You've been going towards your dream. You've been seeing things happen. And then all of a sudden, something happens in your mind. You see something, you experience something, and then it causes you to just stop what you've been doing to be successful. So the biggest thing that I've seen fear do is to stop your momentum. And really that's its goal, right? Its goal is to stop you from making progress, to stop you from moving forward. And that's what I've seen fear do to most people. It stops your momentum. And as long as you can stop someone's momentum, then and you stop their progress, then they're no longer a threat. See, you're a threat when you are going after your dream. You're a threat when you're pursuing that which is within your heart. You are a threat. You're a threat to the enemy. You're a threat to quote unquote society. You're a threat because you are a person of action. You are a person of accomplishment. You're a person that is going to succeed. And most people that are, following you, that are, have their eyes on you, they typically want you to remain where you are because they know who you are, where you are. But you only have a few people that are like, hey, I really want you to succeed, because they understand that your success is going to make an impact in the world. Your success is going to make an impact in the community. Your success is going to make an impact in society. So don't give into your fears. The meaning of Maktub. That's a great question. We'll talk about that as well. So don't give into your fears. Don't let it stop your progress. Don't let it stop your momentum. Keep going towards your personal legend, no matter what you see, no matter what you feel, no matter what you experience. Mr. Beavers?
Keep going. You are going to have these challenges. You are going to have challenges, obstacles. They are going to happen, and they show up every single day. And that's and sometimes that's the part that we miss. We miss preparing ourselves in the morning for the battles that lie ahead, for the challenges that lie ahead, for the obstacles and the unforeseen stuff that happens. And as an entrepreneur, that tends to happen more often than maybe somebody that is just working a 9-to-5, something that's consistent, and everything is kind of calculated and measured for you. But as an entrepreneur, you're always out having to create. You're always on the cutting edge. If you are looking to make sure that revenue is coming in, you're gaining new customers, and you're always experimenting, trying new stuff. So in that, you're going to face the unknowns more often than not. And what that means is that you're going to be challenged. You're going to be tried. So in order for you to prepare for the battles that happen and that come up every single day, you have to prepare yourself before you reach out, before you journey out into the desert.
Yeah.
Does that make
sense?
So
Durgus Shanad has actually read the book. I'm not quite sure who else who's here who's read the book. So he's been going through it, and he was here yesterday, and he is like, hey, I want to extract all that I can from this book, and it's great, right? Because we talked yesterday about reading for leisure versus reading for discovery, and so he has a great question as he's reading through the book. The term Maktub has come up quite a few times, and the term Maktub means that it's written, and I guess in Arabic or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so we see that term in the Bible. We see that term a lot of religious texts saying that it's written, and what's written about you, or what's written about your journey, what is to happen is going to happen. It's just really a matter of when it's going to happen. And right, so not that it's not that it's fate, right? Because you can what's easy to do is also easy not to do, right? But it's your journey, what you are supposed to do. It's already it's something that is already the course is already won for you if you just take the steps and make the movement, right? So we talked yesterday a little bit about the principle of favorability, right? Where you begin to do something, you start to see success, and success leaves clues. Well, that is a part of the "it is written." So it was already in place for you to succeed if you just put in the work. And so as you are going towards your personal legend, it's written for you to continue to go through the hills and the valleys, for you to experience and for you to develop and for you to get better. But it only is there and available for you if you take the steps. So the path is already put together for you, but it's just a matter of you deciding that you're going to go on the journey.
That's good stuff. And when you think about it's written, and you put it in context to what's happening in the story, what you find is that Santiago is he's writing his own story along the way. So what you find is that the author that we think is writing our story is not it. It's not the one in the sky, but it's actually you that's writing your journey along the way. You're the one that's writing your path. So what's written is what you believe in your heart. And if you truly believe, because Santiago could have easily given into his fear. He easily could have wrote that into his script and said, you know what, we're done. This is it. We are outnumbered. I don't know why we're here. What I'm not going to do is give up everything that I work for. So I'm not giving up my gold. I've worked too hard. I've come too far. And look, if they're going to kill us, they're going to kill us. That is us writing our script. And Santiago easily could have done that. But what happened was you had the alchemist, who is the ultimate editor, who says, no, look, that's not what we're getting ready to do. We're fine. What you're going to do is you're going to tell these guys that you're going to change yourself into the wind. Right? You're going to change yourself into the wind. He said, I don't know how to do that. Guess what he had to do? He had to figure out how to do that. He had to figure out how to write that into the script and then play that out.
Like man, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, turning yourself into the wind. So first I want to point on that point of, he said, does everyone believe in Mach 2? Well, it's interesting. Most people believe in Mach 2 once they look back over their life. So Santiago, what he was doing, he was saying, oh, I've been through this. You see throughout the story, oh, I went through this, or I went through this, I've been through this, I experienced this, I overcame this. And all of that was him saying that, oh, that was written for me to go through that, right? So he would recap the things that he's experiencing, he's gone through on his way to his journey, or while he's continuing his journey. And that reminded him of things that he needed to go through, that he had to experience in order to get to where he is right now. So his journey through the land that was unknown, which is Tangier, his journey to becoming successful at the Crystal Merchant, his journey to the Oasis, going through the caravan and going through the desert, meeting Fatima, all of these things that he experienced, meeting the alchemist and the Englishman, all these things that he experienced were things that once he recalled them, because hindsight is 20/20, he recognized that it was written for him to actually experience all that. Now he's at the place where there is danger, right? Now he's at the place where his life is literally on the line. And we find in this part of the story that there's this statement that comes that people really only sometimes only really begin to live when they feel like their life is on the line. When they feel death is near is when they only begin to live. Like, oh, I got this diagnosis from the doctor. I only got 5 years to live, and now they want to live it up. And so we want to make sure that we are living it up each and every day, because we don't know when death is going to be knocking on our door. We don't know when our last breath is here. But so he's in this place where he's like, okay, it's either one, he had to give up his gold, right? Again, he lost everything that he had earned. And this is why we want to talk about this, because what you have in your pockets, what you have acquired is not as important as your life. So he had to decide that, hey, well, I got to give this stuff up in order to live. And he's like, well, hey, if you die anyway, you can't take it with you. Now, he's at this place where they're saying where the alchemist has told the tribesmen that he is a man that understands the soul of the world and that he can turn himself into wind. So the alchemist is somebody that understood what the tribesmen were interested in, what they liked, what would get them, what would help keep them alive. And that's by Santiago turning himself into the wind. Now, it's very interesting because Santiago's like, I don't know how to do this. I'm, turning myself into wind. What are you talking about? But there are times in your life where when you don't have the faith to believe, that you have to rely on someone else's faith until you get the faith, right? So the alchemist believed in Santiago. The alchemist saw something in Santiago that Santiago didn't see in himself. The alchemist saw that Santiago was a pupil, that Santiago was a what was that word called? I can't think of the word. But he saw that Santiago was an alchemist himself. That Santiago was a guy who's actually been through all this stuff, that could actually turn nothing into something. He could turn lead into gold. He could turn whatever he had into whatever it is that he wanted, if he wanted it bad enough. And I don't know if there's anything else in life that will get you to the point of wanting something bad enough than when death is knocking on your door. That's when you really say, I really want to live, and I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to live when death is knocking on the door. Now, when I say death, I'm not necessarily just talking about the physical death. I'm also talking about the spiritual death. I'm also talking about the death of something that you may have birthed or created, the death of your business, the death of your finances, the death of your mental capabilities, ultimate loss, whatever that is for you, in whatever arena. When something is on the line that you are possibly going to lose, the death of a relationship, right? When we're about to lose that girl, we start acting right. The death of something really kicks people to kick it into gear, to develop, to create, to become at an ultimate level that which it is they didn't think was possible before. I remember one day when I got robbed a long time ago, it caused me to go into this ultimate frenzy of being able to acquire what I needed to acquire. And I was up for the next 36 hours making moves to make up for the loss that I had in my finances right after getting robbed. And so I've seen this happen, not just again with the death, meaning you lose life, but the death of whatever it is that you have birthed in this world, something that you have created, something that is yours, something that has come from you, something that you've begun to turn lead into gold. And now you may be losing it, or you may have lost it, or may be on the line for you to lose. Losing a job. Maybe you're an actor and you're running across, losing this opportunity. You really can't get in the gear. You go to another level when desperation kicks in.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, this is what we're gonna do. It is 7:15. We're gonna open up a seat because we got stuff popping off in the chat room.
You have got to join
here on the
You have got to come on.
El Rob has got to join. Mustafa, you got to join. But we want to get a few people into the conversation this morning. And so if you just click the call in now button, we will click that check mark and let you in. I love pizza. Me too, Mike. But yeah, man, this thing is real. It's real out here in the field. And again, we are still in the desert, and you can probably you can pinpoint. I'm not even going to say a probably. You can pinpoint, if you are reading this book, The Alchemist, you can pinpoint where he is and where you are in relation to that, and determine what needs to be done next. The book is so beautiful the way that it's written, and it seems to just evolve as we're reading this book, and more we find ourselves inside the story, almost step for step with where Santiago is right now. And again, in order for you to beat the tribesmen, whoever those tribesmen are for you, what you have to do is prepare. And you have to be prepared for what life is getting ready to bring. And again, the reason why the alchemist was so cool about the whole situation is because, one, he has seen it before. So guess what? The next time that Santiago meets this particular challenge, because of what has happened, he was able to figure out how to turn himself into the wind. Something as impossible as turning yourself into the wind. Like somebody says, hey, I need you to turn yourself into the wind or you're going to die. How do I do that? That's the question. How do I do that? That becomes the ultimate question for you. And that's the questions we need to start asking ourselves. How do I become a millionaire? How do I become a philanthropist in the Southeast region? How do I create this school? How do I put on seminars? How do I do it? And when you genuinely ask the question, what ends up happening is something shows up for you. Life just shows up for you. The soul of the world begins to speak. What's up, El Rob?
You guys know I'm in Atlanta
Early
and it's extra cold out here. Good morning. I've got to take kids to school.
Good morning.
It's cold.
Yeah, we're in Atlanta as well.
See, y'all family.
What's up? What's up? Good morning, family. I love
Good morning,
it,
guys.
I love it.
Good morning, Ben.
All right, so the question today, El Rob, is how do you deal with fear?
Well, fear.
How do you overcome
fear? Fear is simply uneducation. Fear is just simply the lack of knowledge. If a house is completely dark, a big mansion, you would not go inside because it's dark. When the lights are turned on, you're gonna look in every nook. You're not afraid to go into something when you know what it is. When you don't know what it is, there's nothing.
Uh-oh. We lost him.
Oh no. El Rob, you gotta get in a good location.
I can see myself still. Hey.
We can only hear you.
Okay.
Keep going.
So what I was saying was fear itself is just simply uneducation. You're only afraid of something because you don't know about it. You know, it's like, I'm just keeping it all the way thorough. What's going on with the black and white situation right now? Do you think that there might be a little bit of fear there because they're not aware, other cultures are not aware of what the black plight is or the things that they've been through? But if you were knowledgeable, if you sat down and talked to somebody, you could probably understand. You know, fear is only lack of knowledge. So I think that everyone should learn more and then apply your knowledge better, because that's really what it's about. It's about application. It's not about knowing better. It's about knowing better and doing better.
And doing better. Yeah. That's right. That's good. Ben Terry, what's up, man?
Thank you for accepting me into this. I like this topic.
Absolutely, man. So so we're going to pass the question right back over to you as well, man. And what is this thing called fear, man? And why does it overtake so many of us?
Well, I think that fear in itself is an innate human quality that emanates from ignorance. So just like
hold on. Say that again.
Hey. Sound like something I said. Hey.
Say that again, man.
Fear is an innate human quality that emanates from ignorance, and usually, like Letitia said, when knowledge is provided, you can have a crystalline, clear path to your intention and goal, and the resistance is usually from ignorance. Do you know? So you're talking about alchemy. Do you know Pythagoras? Have you read any of his books?
No, but he's the mathematician.
He really did write a lot of nice stuff on alchemy.
Mike.
Sorry?
I'm sorry.
She feeling you over there. El Rob is yes. I got two Pythagoras books on me right now.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Are you guys, because you mentioned into fears, and do you know about law of attraction? Do you guys use that stuff at all? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. Love it. Yeah.
Just like because usually I don't think we even know what we're really afraid of. Sitting down and like writing down things really to clear out that stuff, oftentimes for me, brings out information about myself that I couldn't actually express in my own mind. And it's quite surprising when you really dig deep inside to know what really is holding you back. And sometimes what's holding you back is more complicated, and sometimes it's actually really simple.
All right, so Mike is saying that we're not answering the question. what is this thing called fear? What is that thing that you have feared, maybe still fear right now, and what are you doing to overcome it? Or if you've overcome something that was like, oh shit, man, like how do I? I don't know how to do it.
Let's ask this, Ms. Bean, because in the book they say that the only thing that keeps you from accomplishing your personal legend, the only thing that keeps you from realizing your dream is the fear of failure. That was the statement in the book, right? And so as you think about whatever it is that your personal legend is, whatever your big dream is, whatever your big audacious goal, typically it's something bigger than yourself. Typically it's something that you have yet to experience. Typically it's something that there's things within this journey that you still have to learn. You still have to become, you still have to grow into. And so as you think about whatever that is for you, whatever your big audacious goal is, I'm talking about that big dream that you can't seem to forget. You can't seem to let go. Typically, the only reason why you're not continuing to make progress is because of the fear of failure. And maybe the dream is too big. You're like, man, this is just way too. There's no way I can turn myself into win. I can be into the win, or I can create this. I don't know, this series of books. There's no way that I can, whatever it is that this big dream is for you. It's so big, it's got you overwhelmed with the possibility that I can't really do this, even though I know I'm supposed to do this. Again, let me repeat that again. I can't, you may be saying to yourself, there's no way that I can do this, even though I'm supposed to do this, because this is what's in your heart. So as we think about that, we say with the fear of failure, my first question is, what is your big, audacious dream? What is this thing that's keeping you awake, that keeps coming to you at night? What is this big thing that you know you're supposed to do, but for some reason you might feel like you're not qualified, you don't have the capabilities, you haven't grown into the person that you need to become in order to pursue this dream that you have? I got everybody stuck on that one.
Okay. So, I want to take it back a little bit, if you don't mind. If y'all don't mind, I want to just run it back a little bit from a personal experience. I was homeless in 2006 with 4 kids. Today, I live in a mini mansion in East Cobb in Georgia. Not to say that, I just came up. I changed the way I thought. I had the world against me. I wrote myself a letter, and all of this, I'm going to take it back, I think. It's all within the belief in your mind. It's a computer program, and so like, you know how you're working on your computer and then it's running slow, but you only got one window open. So you do Control-Alt-Delete and you got all this stuff running in the background. The stuff that's running in the background are these programs that are subconsciously plugged into ourselves. You're not good enough. You're not going to be more than anybody else, nobody that you've ever met. You're not going to do anything in life. These are programs that are underlying, are the root causes of the reasons why we're not really having movement mind. But when I was homeless, I wrote myself a letter and I said, these days are going to be memories, just as these words are written on this paper. I believed it. We left Memphis, we came to Atlanta in January of 2007 with a camper bag in a 1988 Buick LeSabre scraping because I didn't have no shocks, and a busted radiator from Memphis. Came all the way up as soon as I got here. So much so, 7 years to the day, my book came out. My first book that I wrote called Turn on the Lights So You Can See. Because
I've seen it.
Like
it's real.
Need to know if you turn on the lights, you can see. That goes back to the fear thing. You're not going to go into a mansion that's dark because it's dark. But when the lights are on, you're going to be in the nooks, the crannies, all up underneath everything because it's on. The lights are on. Go turn the lights on in your brain so that you can do what you want to do in your life. I am a living example. I'm in my mansion right now. I'm in my bathroom. I mean, I don't want to turn around and show you all everything, but I'm just telling you, all in your brain, and it's inside. I'm telling you. Look it up. Turn on the lights so you can see. And my second book, What You Don't Know About Your Soul. I am a self-taught rebel, and I'm a curriculum creator, and I'm ready for people to just to know what I know, so we can grow together.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you're gonna have to put in if you get a chance, you can put in a link to your book. Maybe it's on Amazon or something like that. Turn on the lights so that you can see.
It's on Amazon. It's rob.com. I'll put my website up. You guys can go to my website. Everything's there.
Yeah. I'd like to add that what we Yeah, what we would like in our life is and what we exactly want is relative to what we already have. And the further away a certain manifestation is to what you already have, the darker it will appear like, because you're not closer to that. So baby steps and small steps is what I use personally to get to a bigger goal. For example, for school, when I were to have a perception of completing school in a whole year, it would be daunting. But then I changed my perception to tackle school day by day and value school as in the day. And then I managed to just execute it right through. Because when I think about huge intentions that are beyond my condition, I think about all the little details, and that brings that fear, that brings that anxiety. When I think about the small steps I can execute on my way to that goal, it becomes a lot easier, in my opinion.
This brother, Mr. Terry, man, we're going to have to talk. This is an intellectual. We got a philosopher
I get that all.
with us, man. I am loving your conversation, man. It really is. It makes you think, man, and really, step by step, man. There is a process to everything, man. And so here's the deal, guys. If you're here, obviously you're watching. If you're feeling Miss turned up, Miss Letitia Rob, hey, go ahead and hit that like button and hit that follow button. So you may be doing some blabs here soon. We're going to invite you back so you can really. We're actually going to do a special blab tomorrow for your book. So be ready for it. We're going to do a special blab on turning on the lights so that you can see. So we're going to give you the opportunity to lead us in the conversation. We start talking about turning on the light in your life. Mr. Terry, if you're feeling what Mr. Terry is saying, go ahead and click above his name so that you can follow him. These people might be doing some blabs very soon. Now, Mr. Terry, what is it that you do? I see Ben Terry Music. So I'm imagining you're a musician, or?
Yeah, I did study music. But for work, I do other stuff. But right now, I was just sitting down and I was making some beats, and I thought I'd take a break and talk to some people. Here, there you go. I like your stuff here.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm a Tibetan Buddhist, and the concepts of law of attraction and stuff like that are at its core are very old. They're much older than modern writings.
Right.
And the Buddhist scripts and stuff like that, they do talk about manifestation, but they actually mention merit to be a part of it. Like, for example, you have to have the merit to be able to have those things come to your life. And for me, that means, like, for example, not always take, but allow my pathway to be a mutual exchange as much as possible. And when it is a mutual exchange, I can feel that it just comes through me and things manifest much quicker, much better, and much more genuinely.
And that's like it sounds
like
a lot
Michael
like
Jordan kept his teammates and brought his whole team up with him, and he got that success. That's the biggest example that I know of. Yes.
Oh, you said Jordan? Oh yeah. It's a great example. When you follow your graces, when you are stepping into your greatness, you make everything around you great as well. And it is when we're selfish, when we're afraid and we're fearful, that everything in our lives also shrinks as well, and you experience what's called lack. And so what we have to do is we have to do a better job of giving of ourselves. And the more that we give of ourselves, the more we receive in reciprocity. So with that being said, man, it is 7:33. We are getting ready to pick up right here. You guys better be back here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because we are not done. We're finishing up with The Alchemist tomorrow. And all of you all that are up top, make sure that you join in, because it is going to be a barn burner. This is going to be part 2. We're going to have our guests right back in the building, L. Rob and Ben Terry, man, and all of those. Mike Oxford, you got to join in as well, sir. You said that you were afraid of the camera. We got to get you on for at least 2 minutes, at least.
Yeah, man. So this is what we do, man. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. The Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. Just going through The Alchemist right now. Who knows what we're going to be picking up in next week? But this is what we talk about. We just take 30 minutes every day to make sure that we start our day right or we end our day right, depending on where you are in the world. We don't know where you are, but this is the time that we're on. So it's 7 a.m. right now, Eastern time. So whatever this time is for you, and wherever you are in the world, just go ahead and set that clock so that you know we'll be here tomorrow. We'll be finishing up The Alchemist, and really we're talking about realizing one's destiny, your own personal destiny. So that's what it's about. Finishing up tomorrow is going to be some twists tomorrow because we find ourselves at a twist at the end of the story, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow. So this is the Wealthy, Healthy, Happy Show. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator. I want to thank our guests, Ms. Rob and Mr. Terry, for joining in on the conversation. This is not a me show.
It's all a show. I hope to feel those tingles next time, because that's what it's about.
Hey, make sure that you all tell a friend right now. Make sure that you all hit the tweet button. Make sure you hit that Facebook post button. We need people to hear what's going on.
Right.
Sharing the experience.
I appreciate the opportunity for being on today and being in your presence. It makes me feel wonderful just to know that this is happening every morning. I wish I'd known about it sooner, but I'm glad I got to meet Mr. Beatles. And now here we are. And so I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to be a staple here. Y'all get ready.
Hey,
Atlanta, Georgia. We all in the round. We gotta have a Wealthy, Healthy, Happy meetup one day.
That's it. That's happening. That's going down.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Beatles, man. This is our time, man. You want to end us out, sir?
Hey, man. Man, this is what a fantastic time to be alive. All I'm saying is today, conquer your fears. Go out there and smack fear in the face today. Whatever that thing is, get prepared for it. Get your mind ready, because at the end of the day, you've already won the race. You're already winning the battle.
Not being afraid of the consequences.
You don't even have to. You don't even have to fight it. You don't even have to fight it. Just do you. Just be great. Be beautiful every single day. We are wealthy. We're healthy. We're happy, and we are